people in my family, they don't do the jail things. You know what I mean? Like, so really, I was the kind of black sheep going in and out. I grew up around who I grew up around, and these was dudes that made mistakes, that was locked up like me, but they was official dudes. Shout out to King Luke.
Right, you know the guys, man. You know the guys.
Exactly. Lord, that's how you made me in my heavens. I know I did some dirt and I ain't innocent. In isolation as I reminisce. The real reason you niggas switch. It was all about the Benjamin. Hey, what's going on, everyone out there watching? I want to just start off this video by saying I appreciate those that's been tuning in. And I want to thank everyone out there that's praying for me, and without me knowing, just keeping me in prayer. I want to thank those out there that's doing that for me. And I also want to just take this time out to let you guys know that the more I'm doing this, the more I feel relieved, because it's like kind of like my therapy. I pretty much just kind of lock in, and I got my circle, that's very small, but a lot of them is out of town. Most of them, we kind of communicate via, FaceTime, voice notes, things like that. I say that to say this. Today's topic is basically kind of like a story time. It's gonna be a story time. I want to kind of let y'all in on why today is mostly me choosing to be in solidarity, isolation, some will call it. Something happened right around, I want to say probably about a year, a couple months before COVID. Some things happened that kind of like changed me kind of for life, where like it's hard for me to really trust people. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to give y'all a little backstory on that. I wrote it down in my notes. Today's topic is watch who you let in. Watch who you let in. That was a message I received back in 2019. Around mid 2019, I got that message from someone very close to me at the time. I didn't understand it at first. I thought I did. I thought I knew how to move. I just got released from prison, so I'm thinking I know how to move, and I thought I knew what it meant. But it was a fair warning. Backstory is 2019. I came home from prison. Got out. I had to grind, and I'm the average guy, so I didn't have like thousands of dollars waiting on me. And nah, it don't work like that for the average Joe and the average inmate and prisoner. Like when I'm in there, I know that, I don't go in there faking the front, trying to say I'm this type of baller, any of that. Like I was out here getting it crazy, because in there you could be whoever you want to be. You know what I mean? There's no receipts, you know what I mean? Like, so people could just sell you dreams, you know what I mean? Unless it's people in there that could vouch for you, pretty much. I know that, I might not have people looking out for me or writing me or whatever, because, nobody owes me that, and I just never had that type of support, you know what I mean? It's like, the support I had was the brothers in there that I was linked up with, you know what I mean? And I always was surrounded by good brothers, and, I thank the Most High for that. Fast forward, I get out. I'm living with family. They allow me to live with them. I'm not gonna get into deep of who's who and what name drop. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I was living with family. They allow me to get on my feet. I got on my feet, got my own place. So I got my own place, and in a matter of months, I want to say in a matter of 6 months. So everything was moving pretty quick, and I was proud of myself. You know what I mean? In the last video, I mentioned that I got connected with an organization. They helped me out. You know what I mean? Which I definitely appreciate that. I was going to see my parole officer for the first visit, and I ran into somebody that I was locked up with that just recently got out too, probably like a week or two before me. I ran into the ape from Harlem. We talking, chopping it up. He's like, yo, you should get with this program. They will help you out and doing this. I'm down with them right now. So that's who put me on to the organization. It was word of mouth. Because my parole officer and none of that, they never put me on to that or even mentioned it. You know what I mean? So I shout out to Rocco. So from there, that's how I was able to stay focused, stay structured, and not you do what I usually do, dive first back into the street. Like I said in the last video, I made a vow to the Most High, pretty much saying, just allow me to get the space to work on my craft, worship you, and get closer. So I already had that mindset as like, yo, you know what? I'm changing. I was in there for some petty charge, you know what I mean? Anyway, and I haven't been in for so long before then. I'm talking about years. So going in there after so many years of being out, you start to, and then you just see how the system is. It's like, yo, I already done got my passport, was traveling around the world, all that. And to get locked up, it's just like a slap in the face. It's like, yo, what's going on? Fast forward, I get my place, like I said. And when I got my place, like I said, I got that warning. Watch who you let in. That was the text. I'm like, yeah, I got my place, boom, boom. And the text was, watch who you let in. So I'm like, yo, I already know who I'm letting in. I'm letting in fam. I'm letting in people that's been rocking with me, before I got locked up or whatever. I was doing the music. I was doing shows. And I had somebody that was helping me out with that. So I had him around me. He basically, as soon as I got out, got me a show. And then he got me another show. You know what I mean? But I'm talking about like as soon as I got out, he got me a show, but I was still living with family. But then once I got my own place, around that time he got me a show also. So, but this time it was different because we came to my crib. I mean, I let him come to my crib. So we pre-gaming, the vibe is good. You know what I'm saying? The vibe is good. There's a couple of us, in my place. I open my door and I'm like, yo, whoever's down for the cause, you know what I mean, trying to get this back rolling as far as the music thing, getting the show, building the brand, humbly trying to build the brand. So, everybody was excited. My dude was like, yo, I got somebody, that I'm a friend of mine. Is mine if she come through? I'm like, yo, it's whatever, yo. She with you, everything's good. You know what I mean? I had some of my peeps over, and we all mingling. We go to the show. It was a good show. Come back to my place. Everything's good. Everybody's in good spirits, and happy that the show went good. Everything. But then it was like something changed instantly, like an instant change. Like everybody's happy, boom, 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 to commotion in the living room. So I'm like, yo, what? I'm hearing screaming. Like, I'm talking about just flip, because I'm in my room with my peeps, and then I got some peeps in the living room, you know what I mean? But the peeps in my room, we on like just, we got the TV. It's because my room, I had the studio. So we in there just planning the next steps and the next show. Like we go just strictly music, we getting our mind right, whatever. But the peeps in the living room was on some other time. You know what I mean? Whatever was going on, I'm like, but I'm trusting this is fam, you in my crib, so I should be good. You get me? Like I should be good. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to worry. But that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? So I goes out, commotion, boom, boom, and pretty much I'm not gonna get too deep into what happened, but it got to the point where I was this close, and it was by the grace of God that the cops ain't get called with all the, because I'm in a good area where it's just peaceful, quiet. You know what I mean? Like it was a great, good area. Like I said, by the grace of God, the way the commotion was going and the altercation was escalating, and things was happening. I could have like easily got the cops called on me, police contact, parole violation. That's how I could have played out easily. So at that point, I really was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, you serious? Like, I let dudes to my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy I got the crib, and I'm like, yo, finally I got a crib. The team could come through. Like, it's about to go down. Like, all of this. You know what I'm saying? I had high hopes. Just to like the first event, the first thing that's popped, like something like this happened, like niggas violate my crib. You know what I mean? So, and I couldn't believe it because, like I said, this is like, at the time, this was like, yo, my peeps, like, ride or die, like, this is the team. You know what I mean? So, right then, that's when I seen a switch of energy towards me because I'm like, how could I open my home, liquor, food, whatever you wanted? You didn't have to ask, it was there. Over the years, this happened years ago, like I said, 2019, but as I'm thinking over the years, it's like, niggas never really even apologize for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But I realized, like, that warning that I got from a certain person at that time saying, "Wow, now it's making sense." You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now I see what it is. Watch who you let in, no matter if you think it's fam or not. You know what I mean? Like, watch. And I had to watch, and from there, like, luckily I had that mindset that I had before getting out, that zero tolerance for any foolishness, anything coming my way that doesn't seem right, like zero. So I had to just like lock in for real and just, really analyze certain situations to where I'll say, yo, you know what? It's better for me to isolate. And I mean, it's 2026 and I'm still in the same state of isolation. Just like that situation plus, over the years, because I did give people the benefit of the doubt and, let people back in my life or whatever. But like I always had that same mindset, like, yo, if niggas could do this, like, you gotta watch them. I say that to say this, those out there that might be going through something similar, you know what I mean? Like, feeling like you have to deal with people because y'all got certain ties. People think because you blood related, that's family. Nah, you just blood related. And because family is really wants to like they want the best for you. Like they would never put you in harm's way or try, you know what I mean? Any of that. Like, especially knowing where you coming from and where you trying to go, like, would never try to bring any drama, anything to your place where you rest your head, you know what I mean? And something that you accomplish. Like, nobody, like, they're going to try to help build that up, not destroy it or bring chaos in, you know what I mean? So if you seeing that type of vibe or energy, like, yo, you need to cut them off. people will say they care, but when it comes down to it, they really care about themselves more. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they might love you, but they gonna do whatever it takes for them to be good. You know what I mean? Even if that's fucking whatever you got up, whatever you got going on up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta look at it like that. You know what I mean? People is really selfish. Like, it ain't too many real ones left. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that jealousy and envy is real. And you, the type that you don't care, you want to see everybody eat. Man, you got people that they don't care. Like, that's just in them. You know what I mean? Like, if they seeing you, you up a little more than them, they gonna feel away. It's just something they can't help. You know what I mean? And I'm noticing that. I don't regret nothing because I didn't really grow up around my fam. I grew up locked up. Once my mom's died, I kept going in and out, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. So I grew up around a different, and I'm like the only one in my family that did that. People in my family, they don't do the jail things, you know what I mean? Like, so really, I was the kind of black sheep going in and out. I grew up around who I grew up around, and these was dudes that made mistakes, that was locked up like me, but they was official dudes. Shout out to King Luke.
Right. You know the guys, man. You know the guys.
Exactly.
You know the guys.
Yo, we got dinner tonight. We cooked some fish. Yeah, we cooked some fish.
Killer. I ain't gonna lie, this is good.
It is.
We don't do that, like the backbiting and pillow talk and all that. Like, where I came from, we don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, niggas is confronting you straight to your face. We not going around backbiting and trying to think of ways to sneak and take you down and all. Like, nah. So, like I said, I'm glad that I did grow up in that environment. It's sad to say, but like I said, I seen what real is for real. You know what I mean? So now I can identify easy somebody faking or somebody really keeping it 100. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all up for too long. But I just wanted to put that message out there. Because it is a lot of people that, you know what I mean, out there that's probably just putting up with a situation because you got love for this person or y'all built this bond over a matter of years, a matter of months, or whatever. You know what I mean? You just feel like you got to put up with it. Or y'all financially tied in together or invested together. So it's like, it's hard to break that. You know what I mean? Like, I know what that's like. You know what I'm saying? I definitely do. But I'm letting you know that you don't have to stay in that situation. It's just some people outgrow each other. You just outgrow relationships. If you trying to go one way and the person is trying to go another way or just stuck in that same mindset, you outgrow them. You know what I mean? Like me, I was the type, I ain't gonna lie, I smoked, drinked, all that, and I used to do it a lot. I grew out of that, you know what I mean? But it's still people that I know that never grew out of that and either stayed at that same mindset level or even got worse with the addiction. But them people, no, we don't look down on them. But at the same time, you still have to grow. You know what I mean? It's not like you looking down on them or anything or you thinking you better than. Nah, it's just you outgrew the situation. And that's simply what it is. So basically I want to just touch on another thing. So I just got back from Queens again, and DP he did a video on touching on Jamestown and like just some history, and I'm gonna put a little clip of that video in right now.
It was racism. While the town that my grandfather was born in isn't incorporated to the day. Racism. And you think that affects me today? Absolutely. Because guess what? Because if it didn't force him out, then he would still be there. And that's where I would have been born at. Come on. All right. Let me calm down.
So yeah, that's the video. Y'all go check that out. EP, my pops, he's definitely been supportive to me on this journey of me trying to build up my brand and, you know, working on my camera skills and just all around editing skills, everything, just this whole entertainment thing that I'm trying to build up. And another thing, I'm gonna end it with this. Me and DP was talking, and we was talking about you know, we like the term snitching and everything came up. I told him my thoughts on it. I'm like, yo, listen, if you not in the street and you telling people like, yo, listen, you know, you being straight up, like, cause me, I ain't in the street no more. So I'm like, yo, listen, I'm letting people know, like, yo, don't come around me with no foolishness. You know what I mean? Cause I'm not living like that no more. I'm a citizen now. I told them, if I'm doing some street activity, let's say it's somebody, you know, that I can trust, and I give them my word, like, yo, listen, if we doing what we doing, like, you got my word, like, I'm holding it down. If anything happens, whatever, I'm gonna hold it down. I already understand, like, this is how it goes in the street. You know what I mean? And that's just me. And like I said, that's just coming from the environment that I come from. You know what I mean? Like, if me and you decide to do dirt together, yo, you got my word, I'm holding that down. But if I'm telling you that I'm not in the street and I'm no longer doing them activities, that's different. And any real dude will know that. You know what I mean? Any real dude, if you tell them what time it is, they're going to just know. 2019, I did have people, even though I'm telling them I'm changing, I'm turning a new leaf, I did still have people coming to my home trying to influence me still to do negativity. That's when you know that person, you gotta cut them off. You know what I mean? Because they just not understanding. Like, it's just not registering. And they gonna have to deal with what they deal with because they still on that type of mindset. Yo, if I'm gonna do dirt and I'm noticing now, like, yo, I only really trust myself. So I'm gonna do dirt with me. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. I was never the type that's going to influence somebody, especially if they saying like, yo, nah, I'm changing, I'm doing. But to still try to change, you know what I mean, get them to do that right there, I feel like is an informant. You know what I mean? That's informant behavior. So watch out for that type of behavior and energy if you trying to do right and steady people coming in trying to, it's a form of energy. I'm telling the audience this because, like I said, I'm locked in right now. I don't rock with nobody like that. And I did that on purpose because whoever's rocking with me on this channel, y'all get everything. Y'all get my vulnerability. Y'all get everything. That's why I could talk like this and talk freely because I'm not chopping it up with nobody else like this. You know what I mean? I barely even talk. Unless, you know what I mean, you in my circle. And whoever's on my channel, like I said, y'all could get this. I'm young. And, you know, when you young and, you know, your mom asks, like, yo, who did this? Who messed this bed up? Or who did this? And me being young, I'm young and naive. I'm like, oh, such and such did this. I want to say about a week later, you know what I mean? This happened in the Bronx. Like a week later, I'm thinking everything all good. Boom, boom, boom. The same dudes, family members, run down, beat me up. You know what I mean? I had to be about 10. Beat me up. Put a razor to my face. This is blood related. Put a razor to my face and said, yo, snitches get stitches. Do it again. See what happened. So right then I woke up and I knew how serious things could get. Because like I said, I'm like 10, 11. I'm naive. I'm thinking like, yo, my mom asked me something. I didn't want to lie to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I'm thinking in my head. It showed me where I was at. Like, I woke up like, all right, this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say nothing. Like, you know what I mean? I want to be cool. I don't want to be, when I tell you, man, them same relatives, later on down the line, as we got older, I witnessed one of them snitch, put somebody in jail for years. The second one snitched on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, police report, all that. the same two dudes that did this. So I say this to say this, man. Yo, do you? You know what I mean? Like, and really do you, man? Because dudes be out here faking. And I'm going to end it like that.